Hello, world, and welcome to the triumphant return, now featuring 20 Festivals
Dun, dun, dun,
arc. This is the
dun.
L5R video podcast. I'm the man who doesn't actually know how to hold down a conversation, but hey, I've got an amusing, tangentially related anecdote. I'm Paul Ashman, and that's the man over there on the edge of his seat. Why? Is it because he's interested in the March Madness brackets? No, it's because he's trying to win the space race at the end of Civilization 4. He's so close, I can
So
feel it. You're almost there.
close.
It's Jesse Grabowski. Hi, Jesse.
The space race is for chumps. When I play
Oh, come on. You
Civilization,
never wanted your space. You never wanted it to like outdo the nuclear warheads. You've never
no,
been sitting there
I
watching it
never
like,
make it
can
to the
I? Can I
nuclear
do
war.
it? Can I make it?
I have no self control. I sit there. I think this game. I'm gonna be peaceful. I'm gonna make friends with everybody. I'm gonna be, and then like they build their city in the spot I want. Like, all right, Hitler's out again. Like just be Hitler all the time, and life will be good for you.
Here it
I
comes.
even picked like the fascism ones. It's like, oh, this one gives me more military guys. Like pick. It's just that
I'll
game
take
really
it.
it pushes me into like Big Brother dystopias. And part of me is a little bit disappointed in it. The other part of me is like, yeah, I want another battleship. I don't care.
You know, no respect is when we win, man.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Really, that game teaches you a lot of bad things, like how
It
to.
teaches you a lot about yourself, right?
It
Like
really does.
how egalitarian of a person you really are. You know, like when it's just you and some computer AI, just how ruthless do you get? The answer is very, very ruthless.
I don't let him. I don't let him live for a bit. I do love the idea, though, that the loudest, most socially boisterous person I know secretly has no interest at all in what you are saying. It's just a conversation is supposed to just be like we tell stories back and forth at each other, right?
That's right. I just, I, I'm just sitting around ready for my chance to burst into a non sequitur monologue. That's all I'm doing, you know. I'm just biding my time, waiting for an opportunity.
Now, I was told by somebody once a
Okay.
long time ago
Uh,
that there's two kinds of people: people that listen, and people that wait to speak. And the reason that I was told this is to improve yourself and try to be a person that really listens and don't just wait for your turn to speak. You just plowed right through that. Like, nah, man, I'm waiting for my turn to speak. I don't what talk,
yeah,
what
look, there's
listen,
a
what.
there's a third type of person, which is me, which is the only person worth listening to. That's me.
We can
Okay,
pivot.
I'm a
We can
third.
pivot over to
I'm
L5R.
a third.
I'm really excited for this matchup. This is an old school grunge match. We got Lion and Crane uh, with the 20 festivals cards ready to go.
Yeah.
You want to talk about yours first?
Yep. All right, so I'm doing. This is just Crane Honor, and I think this is one of the the defining deck as we shape them. Now that we've gotten all the brewing in. Well, you're still on some brewing insanity over there, so you get to
There's
have more of a
insanity.
fun conversation. It's what gold schemes I think are you're gonna end up seeing a lot of these. It's like here's a bunch of 1 gold cost holdings that work really well with Forgotten Legacy, and then Coastal Lane and a marketplace, and then PPG. It's an honor producing holding there, and then a bunch of just cheap 3PH guys plus Teneji, and it's just like gold on 1, proclaim on 2, proclaim every turn after that, activate the box and PPGs as often as I can, and just trying to sort of run up to 40 honor. And your defense is just cards that do thing as and say gain 2 honor plus some open phase bow effects and some open phase control featuring 3 control and the great official sanction, much maligned, but really awesome card. Couple other good quality cards: flashy technique, planned departure, lookout post. These are all just sort of fine cards for defense. Progressive, another great just honor defense. Please don't take my province this turn. In concert with Path of Wisdom, which might end up being a 3-off in this deck, depending on how well I can use it with the favor. And then building contract, because it's a really insane card sometimes. And I've built this deck. I've played a couple games with it. I feel pretty good about it as both a strong, powerful deck, if not tier 1, then hanging right around tier 1. But also, I think a really good representation of what it is Honor can be doing, especially Crane Honor in the format. I think you're going to see a lot more Honor because every faction has some shake of an Honor deck. Phoenix can do it, Dragon can do it, Lion can do it.
Spider can do
Everybody gets
it.
to try to play Honor if they so choose. Well, no, they can't, and don't troll me, please. Crab actually have a sort of sit defensive, but I mean, this is what Crane Honor is, and what it's always been is just try to be the cheapest, fastest, first to 40 run for a deck, and that's what I built, and I'm feeling pretty good about it.
Yeah, it looks like it's really well positioned. The Honor was terrible last arc, or I guess last season, but they have
Yeah.
a lot of new tools in 20 festivals, not the least of which is the box, but also a bunch of these cheapo guys. Teneji doesn't hurt, and cards like Usurpation and Pure Intent. And there's like sort of reach this critical mass of do something game 2 honor
Yep.
cards so you can really pull it forward.
Yeah. Also, I really think the official sanction control, rank half privilege in concert with summons. Battle Bow is very beatable if you so choose, but very few decks are prepared, I feel, to combat aggressively like open phase Bow. And I'm only trying to stay alive through 5 turns or something. So I think that's an achievable goal. Now you're playing my natural foil in the deck that always goes first against me, so this could be a disaster. I might just get steamrolled.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. So this is a deck that I think was waiting in the wings, and I'm gonna try to bring it forward. It's basically the Ikama Ayumi deck. When this guy was previewed in A Line in the Sand, we were both really, really high on her, and we said she's super awesome, and we want to build around her, but she has absolutely no supporting
Yep,
cast.
still love him.
So she had no supporting cast
Yep.
at the time. So what we're doing now is, I think that we've kind of gotten there. With 20 festivals, we got not one, not two, not three, but a whole boatload of 6 and 7 gold cost guys in line that we want to play. So we can play something with a little bit higher, with a bunch of it's like 3 Force Tactician, 3 Force Tactician, and then the way I'm building around her is I'm playing a bunch of big followers. So Hachiro's Legion, Oriole Imperial Vanguard, and Spider Elite Sohai. To just buy a single guy, give him a big follower, and then she's cavalry, go take a province, or one of these tacticians, give him a follower, attack up, take a province. And it'll let me split a little bit and do some interesting stuff. But otherwise, they're just really solid personalities. Like every single guy that I have has a printed ability.
My comment on Ayumi is now and has always been that if you put this personality in a different context, you make Ayumi a Crane, and I'm loving her, and she's awesome, and I'm building all kinds of decks with her, right? You make her a Mantis, and I'm loving her, and I'm building all kinds of decks. You know what I mean? You do the same for Crab. I just feel like in any other faction, even the Spider, I feel like this is a card I would play and try to leverage in all kinds of decks and situations. But because it's Lion, that 7 feels a lot bigger than it actually is, and I just feel like there's a lot going on with her. Naval plus Cavalry for 4 Force and 7 Gold. That just feels like it's really good, and that's before we get to the fact that she can turn any infantry guy into a cavalry guy. And I really like this guy.
For sure, and I really like her too, which is why I decided to try and build around her. She and Naikuru here are the only 2 guys without a Prince of Battle action. But she makes up for it by being naval. I'm not super taking advantage of naval. The thing I really do is naval fear 3 off the Sohai. And there's a different build of this deck that goes smaller on the followers and just has followers with actions, which might be better. But I'm not ready to say that yet.
Sure.
So the other thing, in order to fund all this gold, I'm sort of trying a different gold scheme. I want to try a trading grounds scheme. What pushed me to trading grounds is actually building contracts. The idea is that with building contract, trading grounds is like a pseudo Suwana Dojo in the early turns because it'll allow me to buy big holdings. So what I'm trying to do is I'm running 5 4-for-4s, and then the goal is to get either a Suwana Dojo or a trading ground on 2 in order to set up for building contract into Suwana Dojo or buy a 4-for-4 or just get my Forgotten Legacy, plus get my Forgotten Legacy or get another Suwana Dojo or building contract for something smaller. The way that these 4 gold cost producing things interact with the 4 gold cost holdings in the deck plus the building contracts, because the Suwana Dojos go to 4 because the Suwana Dojos go to 4, makes for pretty explosive starting gold if everything lines up well. And I've done a couple goldfishes, I've played a couple text games, and things seem to line up pretty well so far. So I'm interested to see if it's worth it. I'm gonna play a couple games like this. Then in the background, I'll try a couple games with a more ordinary gold scheme and see which one I like better. The only other remarkable thing on the Fate side is
the way gold pooling works. Wow. I was just thinking, like, Trading Grounds is a really interesting card that I haven't explored it at all. I feel like you're doing all this stuff. It's like I'm playing mid-range guys, and you got 4 gold. I'm so envious. I don't have anything neat like that. I mean, I do have a Destined guy. He's pretty cool.
That's right. The only other thing I wanted to talk about was
And
Ikuma
this guy's a
Norisu.
courtier.
That's right. Ikuma Norisu here.
Okay.
He was the other builder on the deck because his interrupt's really powerful. I'm told that in the video review I talked about building my own Stayer Blades, but I'm told you can't interrupt multiple times on one honor gain because you cancel it once
Well,
and then the next interrupt doesn't count, fails to
yeah.
cancel or something. I'm not sure how that works.
One day they'll start answering rules questions for 20 Festival, and when that day comes, we're gonna have a bunch, assuming we can remember to ask them.
But because he's in the deck, I'm playing some slightly inefficient because like Discretionary Valor, move a guy home gain 2, and actually like you can target the Iamari here with it and not move home to draw 2. Fearless Devotion is the one that's like I should be playing something like there's a couple other just straight effects, but I'm trying this one just for the gain 1. In corner cases it'll cycle itself. And then I'm also playing 2 copies of Benefits of Honor to like make a melee 3 draw card. Otherwise, I think this is going to be worse. Lion Shells sort of end up. I've got a Assassin Strike is my only little bit of sauce to get off of my Death of the Winds, which is otherwise finding Serenity or Unholy Strike or something like where did it go? Rewards of Experience. And then I'm trying out Ongoing Division because it says draw a card. I just want to try it out. So that's my deck.
Very cool, and puts me very much to shame. And that's one of the fun things about the start of these formats is that you can do all the cool, fun stuff Jesse's doing, or you can try to be the fun police like I'm trying to be and just play a low to the ground efficient deck.
Yeah, well, I think you need to make the fun police first, and then you sort of branch out and see who can beat that.
I always go for the fun stuff first, and then work on my fun police decks. Okay.